Tulsa, Oklahoma, with his larger-than-life grandfather.
He was a very complex person who made a lot of decisions I don't agree with, but I think who had a real heart for people.
A legacy his grandson is carrying on today, but with an unexpected twist.
I woke up one day and I felt suicidal. I've been for years wishing that I would just die because I didn't want to come out. I didn't want to be gay.
So Randy Potts spent years living the life expected of Oral Roberts' grandson. He was married with 3 children.
I really loved my wife. We met at 18, and we were best friends, and we were inseparable. At the time, I knew I didn't really have sexual attractions for women.
So why would you get married? And how do you have 3 kids?
Because honestly, I thought I was just a really good Christian, that I just didn't sexualize women. I just thought, well, lucky me, I don't really look at women the way all the boys do.
The suicide of Randy's closeted gay uncle when he was just a boy haunted him until he had a revelation while he was married.
We led these very similar lives, and then in my late 20s, I discovered that he was gay, just as I was discovering, that I was not bi, that I really was just gay, and, so of course then I really related to him.
His uncle's secret life and tragic death inspired Randy to get divorced and live openly as a gay man, not knowing what his life would be like.
The only thing I knew about homosexuals was that they maybe went to parks and did, dirty things or something. I knew I didn't want to spend my life every night in a club getting drunk and doing stuff in parks, and that was my view of homosexuality, and I thought, well, that's not me.
Randy's decision to come out was felt at Oral Roberts' funeral when his mother spoke before the mourners.
I was not invited to sit with the family. She got up to speak about my grandfather and then saw me in the audience, and she just lost it and started talking about how homosexuals are going to hell. I think for about 10 seconds I sat there and kind of quaking in my boots, and then this calmness passed over me, and I just let it go. I thought, that's where she is, and she's hurting and she's angry, that I'm not. I think that, you can't hate someone for feeling that way at all. I love my mother, and I know that she wants the best for me and doesn't want me to go to hell.
Randy's mission now is to reach out to the very people who shunned him, the evangelical communities.
I don't think that evangelicals hate homosexuals at all. I think that they look at Jesus' message as being accepting, but Jesus also came down strongly against sin, and they see homosexuality as sin. For them, people who are openly gay are defying God. They are not bad people, and I know in their heart that they don't want to do that. So I think it's a tug of war. Miracles happen through forgiveness.
A battle Randy has taken on, preaching acceptance.
I am setting up meetings with evangelical ministers. They're private, they're not, public, but meetings to kind of figure out, okay, you're here, I'm there, how do we find common ground? The rhetoric they are currently using is tearing apart families. It leads to drug and alcohol abuse, it leads to suicide, and a lot of ministers are getting that. I may not be able to change their mind about homosexuality, but maybe I can change how they address it in their church so that families aren't torn apart so often.
He's also setting up storefronts in religiously conservative towns where he and his boyfriend will go about their daily routine, all on display to show how normal they are.
In the 90s, there was sort of a shift where gay men and women were coming out and saying, we do want to serve in the military, we do want to get married, we are conservative, some of us. Americans really want to be tolerant and accepting, and they want to embrace gay men and women, but they want to embrace people with their values that want to get married, that might want to serve in the military.
So what do you think Oral Roberts would say about you today?
I think that had he come from a later generation, I think he would have been very gay affirming. He was very, very much a pioneer on the race issue in the 70s. He made sure his choir was very integrated. Had he come from a later generation, he may have decided to be a pioneer on gay rights.
Paige Hopkins, NBC News, New York.
And